So I've been thinking about this for the longest time now. Basically, in any other game, the heavies are the big slow class in the game who can do big damage with large tanky health pools, but their drawback is they're slower. The Vanguardish heroes are usually the middle class and are a nice balance between speed and power with a decent health pool, and then the assassins are the super fast heroes that land quick hits with strong damage, but the drawback is they have a small health pool. Now, I understand that For Honor is of course a unique game and that the classes kind of take a backseat to the core mechanics of the game, but for some reason I feel like the classes are supposed to have a bigger role than they do. I feel like UB wanted this to be a team fighter and of course have this presence in the competitive scene and be watched on Twitch and all that, and we see where we are now. Anyways, when you step back and look at the best heroes in the game, you realize that all the assassins hold the top spot, except for one. I'm sorry, Orochi mains. And don't try to show me that tier list from Google again that is a complete joke. It has Warden, Orochi, and Nobushi packed in the S tier for some reason. Anyways, almost all the assassins are really good in this game. And I can't even say that they're just glass cannons. Their health pools aren't really too different from anyone else's. I mean, frail old Peacekeeper has more health than the armored Centurion. Shaman is just wearing a couple other straps and she has more health than Centurion. Every assassin except Shinobi, I think, has more health than Centurion, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is that all the assassins average about 120 health, which isn't much further below the rest of the cast, who all range between 125 to 160 health, with Lawbringer and Shigoki having 150 and 160 respectively. So they're barely squishier than anyone else, and to me that just doesn't make sense because of how much faster and more agile they are than the rest of the cast. I could understand if maybe they were weaker, but the assassins are supposed to excel at one-on-one combat, and most of them can do really good damage, really fast, and if they're in a pinch, they can easily escape. The reflex guard doesn't really do too much. The rate at which it exhausts itself doesn't matter since you can just fuzzy guard anyway. And they can block and parry just like anyone else, so defense isn't really a problem. They also added the benefit of having a deflect, but I say that so loosely and we'll talk about that at a different time. They have the best dodges in the game, if you don't count Highlander's offensive stance dodges anyway. And these dodges alone can help assassins control the pace of a fight. While controlling the pace of the fights, assassins, except for Orochi, have generally safe options. Peacekeeper and Gladiator's Zone, Shinobi's Kick, Berserker's immense amounts of hyper armor, and Shaman's dodge attacks. Pair all this with their fast lights, and I personally think that they're the best class in the game by design. Now of course they have a couple flaws, but there isn't really anything that handicaps them in a fight. Now I'm not saying assassins should be nerfed or anything, except for their back dodges, but I do think it's interesting that they're so useful, and eventually I don't think that classes will even matter at all other than how they gain the renown in Dominion. I'd love to see the classes actually matter in fours and have a more dynamic team composition on each team, rather than having an absolutely optimized setup on each team. I do really believe that this could happen if UB would just let us know what they want to do with the game at this point. I don't think they're giving up entirely on the whole competitive For Honor thing, but it looks like maybe they're leaning away from fours and focusing more on duels. I mean, all the reworks were really dual focused changes, and maybe we'll have a smaller hero series or something one day. I just don't see a real drawback for them, barring deflects. They can turtle up just as well as any other hero in the game. I mean, yeah, they don't have full block or an actual guard, but does that even really matter? When I play assassins, I admit that I fall into the pattern of using my dodge a lot because of just how fast and how good it is, since you recover so much faster. If I dodge without a follow-up as Kensei, I just have to sit there until I completely recover and probably get guard broken. But if I'm playing Gladiator or something, I can just dodge around as much as I want with freedom, and they feel completely different in your hands. If I use Raider or Conqueror or Aramusha, they all feel the same while moving around. As I said, I don't think Ubi will do anything about it, and if they do, it'll be in a couple months since we get an update like every 2 months or so. I just wish there was another way to give each class something really unique and make them all feel different from each other. I want heavies to feel tanky and powerful, and vanguards to really feel balanced, but I doubt that will happen. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I just wanted to talk about assassins for a little while, since I think it's weird that they dominate the top spots compared to the heavies and vanguards. As always, I do want to hear your opinion on this, so let me know how you feel about assassins as a whole, and if you agree with me or just like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you do, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.